Fellas, we'll kick things off though. Hoffenheim and Leipzig. Um, Leipzig needed a win here. You know, the form hasn't been extremely consistent, and thankfully for them, the other teams up there haven't been at top form either. Kind of some up and downs there for those last European spots, but convincing day, I'd say. You know, against that Hoffenheim side. Um, Keen, I'll let you run away with that one because I know you are our RB aficionado here. Um, Big day for Dani Olmo.
Yeah, big day for him. Big 2-minute stretch, really. Leipzig was not the better team for sure in the first half. Hoffenheim was definitely the better team overall, but in those 2 minutes, Dani Olmo proved why he should have been purchased, why he's looked on as one of the future guys for Spain, and buried 2 goals in the matter of 2 minutes. I think we tweeted it out that Hoffenheim was looking for a penalty on one end, and then counterattack on the other, bam, goal, and that's how it opens up. A little back and forth in the second half, but, nothing else to speak of really. But, RB looked like RB on the counterattack, and Dani Olmo got his day.
Now, here's a question for you, Keenan, because we talked about this last week on the future for RB post Timo Werner. Obviously, Timo didn't show up on the score sheet this week, and it's good signs there with Olmo, especially if they're able to sign him long term. Do you think this is signs that this RB team can and will continue to be successful even without Timo, particularly on that counterattack? Because you think, all right, Timo is one of the paciest players in the league. You think that maybe that counter isn't quite as lethal without him, but then again, they're showing proof that they can still get it done.
Yeah, I think they've proven that with the loan options that they're able to pick up and then the purchases that they're able to make, assuming that they can secure a couple of these guys to be on loans and sign them full-time, I'm not concerned about RB's success. Nagelsmann committing to being long-term with them is probably more crucial than Werner at the moment. He's clearly taken that team to the next level, and the longer he has to build with those players, the better that team will be.
Now, I did hear some interesting news this week, actually today, about Timo Werner. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it too, that he's really pushing to make that move as soon as possible, which could potentially land him at Chelsea for Champions League. From my understanding, Christian Falk made it clear that he would not be eligible for the Bayern Chelsea, but potentially if he were to make his move and Chelsea miraculously, or whatever you want to call it, were able to get past Bayern, he could potentially be eligible at that point to play Champions League football for Chelsea this season. Thought that was very interesting. Couldn't remember, it was somewhere out of Germany that had the source, but that's something to watch. I'm not sure how much truth is in that. Obviously, Leipzig they're still alive as well, so it's kind of strange. And people were maybe questioning, is there something going on between Timo and RB, like a fallout that we don't know about that would, kind of push him to want to go ahead and exit now? Don't know. But that's certainly something that I'd be watching. But yeah, otherwise, a good day for RB. They continuing to battle there. I think they'll be pleased with seeing the results that Gladbach and Leverkusen put up. They've got a couple interesting fixtures to close things out, but I think as we're getting closer and closer, it looks like they will get that third spot on the table, which I know they'll be glad about. Anything else from that one, fellas?
Just we going into that game, I think we all kind of picked. I know we all picked Leipzig to win that game. I picked it mainly because of the surroundings of the sacking of Hoffenheim's manager, like leading up to that game. Like you have this week of preparation, all of a sudden you sack them like a couple days before the game. How's that going to affect the squad and everything? But I got to give props to Hoffenheim with how they battled, even though they were obviously they lost today. but even without like their full-time manager, they still seem to battle as tough as they would have with their manager there. So I have to give props to Hoffenheim there. Granted, they lost, but the second half of that game was a lot better than that first half for them was.
Yeah, continuing to show a lot of grit, right? And I guess that was part of the reason this Schroeder wasn't getting it done at the level that they wanted. They're saying, hey, we're a talented side. We have, ambitions to get back to Europe. Hey, good for them. That manager search is going to be interesting, though, to see who they pick up with it for them.
Yeah, I think, because you think about it, you see you have those managers who are looking at it, all their options, and they see how teams perform like without those managers there, and like, oh, how did this team perform with that main manager gone? How do they perform? Like, are these players that I can depend on week in week out? And I think the Hoffenheim players definitely prove that they can be a team that you can go in and win with.
Yeah, for sure.